Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video, folks. I'm once again on Scorched Earth and we're going to continue with the Explorer notes. Firstly, I'd like to apologize to all you guys. I have had a couple of days where I haven't actually put a video out, and that was because I was extremely ill. I am on my way to recovery, and of course I do know that the Lost Island DLC has also come out, so I'll cover that when I get around to it. First things first, let's continue with this, and here's where we are as far as the location. And so basically we're going to be going around this location to find all of the Explorer notes. As for the first note, that one is actually quite close to us, and so if we fly around basically towards the mountain to the right, we can see a ruin in the desert, and so this would be the first location right here. Now I do believe that I have picked up one of these notes previously. There are actually two here, so I'm going to show you them. One is here on this end, so right here. Okay, I'm going to show you the map location and the GPS coordinates. The GPS coordinates are 16.7 by 56.5. Now, not far from here, on the same ruin, there are some more notes. Actually, one more note. It is a Helena note, so I'm going to show you what that is. You've probably seen it, so anyways, I'm still going to show you it. This is what the ruin looks like. I believe I did pick it up in a previous video, but anyways, this is where it is. So it's on this structure right here, on the rooftop of this sunken structure. Alright, so from here we're going to continue with our journey around the mountain. Most of the notes will be around the mountain. Okay, so let's get some height. So it's that mountain right there that we're on about, or that I was on about. We're going to fly around it. You saw the map, you know where we are, and again, close to the desert there should be another ruin. So just follow it around here at the base and we'll come across to another ruin. Now this is what the mountain looks like. There are several ruins in the desert, so keep that in mind. We did fly past it. I'm going to show you a couple of things here as well. Now this light is a bit bright, but here is the ruin I was on about. So it's basically at the base. I didn't cover this one when we did the desert, so I'll cover it now. I'm classing this one as a part of the mountain because it is technically at the base of the mountain. Alright, let's try and grab this note. It's a bit difficult. I'm trying to grab this off of my wyvern. Hopefully I get lucky here. There we go. So this one was a Riot tablet. It's Riot tablet number 6, and map and GPS coordinates. The coordinates are 22.2 by 60.7. Okay, I'll leave these out for a brief second so you guys can take note of the location, and then we'll move on to the next location. Now, as we follow this around, we'll get to some more notes. So this is where we are in terms of the surroundings. So this right here is one of the ruins that we covered in a previous episode where we did the desert. So this one's kind of empty, but I'll show you it, just give you a brief glimpse of it. And from here we're going to head inwards, basically continue following the mountain around, and again at the base of the mountain in the foliage we will be finding another ruin. So we have to keep an eye out because it is hidden by the trees, and of course I'm referring to the next ruin. It isn't all that big, so it is at the base of the mountain, but again hidden by the trees. So we want to kind of look to our left and keep a sharp eye out. It isn't a big ruin, so you can see it right there. And this is where I'm at in relation to the mountain. Let's go and pick up that particular note. You can see right there, this one is a Rockwell note by the looks of it. Okay, I'm trying not to get into any fights I'm trying to avoid these as best as I can. Now this might be a bit of a long video because there are quite a few notes within this area that we're going to be covering today. This is Rockwell record number 16, and as you can see, the map location and GPS coordinates, they are 31.3 by 59.7. I'll leave this out for a brief second so you guys can take note of that. Now from here, we're going to basically go towards the skeleton. So there's a skeleton down here that you can see. Let me just kind of show you. So it's that right there. It's a bit dark, but basically we want to fly towards the skeleton and then kind of look back on ourselves towards the mountain. But somewhere down here, basically there is another ruin. So let's kind of just get close to the ground because you can see it better that way. There it is. Again, not a big ruin, easy to miss, but it is easy if we just use the skeleton as a point of reference. This one is the Jugg dossier, and we're going to show you the GPS and map location. So this is where we are. The coordinates are 35.0 by 59.7. I'm going to wait for the day to be a bit brighter because my wyvern does like to grow in the dark, so it makes it a bit difficult. Alright, finally a bit of sunlight, and my wyvern is not too glowy, so now you can see where I'm going. So we're going to continue following the mountain around, and again at the base of that mountain we will find another ruin. But as we get to it, there's this crack here. So as you can see, there's like a mountain, then there's like this path, then another mountain. In between them there's a path that goes downwards, and there we will see another ruin. So that's where we were before. That's where the skeleton is. That's where we found the previous ruin. And if we were to basically fly downwards, right here, as you can see, there's a crack. You can already see the ruin, and basically that's the one we're going for. But there's also another one into the mountain right here. So this one is a bit challenging to get off a wyvern. Oh, I picked it up. So I'm going to try and find a location close to that ruin. Let's see if we can get this particular note. In the sense of, I want to show you the map location and GPS coordinate. I'm going to do this from the top. And I just think it's going to be easier. So I'm going to base myself right on top of that. And the map and GPS coordinates, they are 30.6 by 56.2. Okay, I'll leave this out for a bit longer, and then we will continue to the next ruin, which you've already seen. It is down there, so let's go and grab that one, and I'll show you the map and GPS coordinates once we pick it up. So this is what the little path between the mountain basically looks like. It does lead into this kind of cliff type of formation. So if we land down here, you can see this is a fairly decent sized ruin. Alright, we've got this one. So map and the GPS coordinates are 30.6 by 53.7. This is the Decay note number 7, and not far from here, if we fly ahead towards this sandstone pillar structure, basically as we come from the ruin, there's this archway, then there's a second archway right there. We're looking at this one on the left, and we're just basically going to go to the left of it. You can see right there on the ground another note. This one does not have a ruin. And this one is another Rockwell note. So let's have a look at this. Here are the map and GPS coordinates. They are 31.4 by 51.6. Now, as I said, there is another ruin close to the base of the mountain, so I'm going to show you that location in a brief minute. I'm going to show you how to find it from this location right here. So from here, basically, we are going to fly back on ourselves towards where we were before, and we're looking for the base of the mountain. So let me just show you what this area looks like, give you a good aerial view of it. Okay, this is the mountain right there. Again, I'm going to get some more height here. But at the base of the mountain here on this side, there should be a ruin that we're looking for. It is, again, one of those ruins that is somewhat concealed by the trees. And sometimes it can be a bit of a challenge to find. But if you follow the mountain basically to where the mountain basically has its base, and in between the trees, you'll find it really quickly. So let's have a look right here. You can see the base right there. It's not a lot of a ruin, if that makes sense. It's just basically a bit of a pillar, and of course with it we'll have our next note. Now, trying to land this sometimes is a bit of a challenge. There we go, finally landed it, and here we are with the next note. Let me just try and pick it up whilst I'm mounted. Again, this is a Rockwell note. It is Rockwell record number 13, and the GPS coordinates are 27.6 by 55.0. Now from here we are going to basically go towards the desert, so we're basically going to go back on ourselves a bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to follow this land bridge. If you were to follow it, and you can see to the left of me there is a ruin, but there's also another point of reference. There's a pool of water, and we've got a bit of a waterfall, but there's also this cliff right here. So these will have ruins and some note on it as well. So we're going to start from here. So this is basically as if we were coming in from where we were situated. That's basically where we were before. That's the waterfall that we have. That's the body of water. And if we fly this way and we look to the left, we will see a note. This one does not have a ruin, so we need to be kind of careful with it. There we go. So just one lonely box that contains a note for us. So we'll pick that up, and then we will continue our path on this and get to another note, which is kind of located at the end of this shelf, if you want to call it that. So this is where we are on the map. The GPS coordinates are 25.7 by 52.6. Alright, so as I said before, we're going to continue following this shelf, so to speak, and we get to the end of it. We basically can see that there's this bridge right here. We just continue flying onwards, and we will see another ruin. And over here we have a Helena note. So this is Helena note number 17, and the coordinates are 23.3 by 52.2. So from here we're going to go to that bridge that I showed you before that was above us. So actually, before we get to the bridge, right here on the top, right underneath the previous ruin, there's another ruin. Again, another Helena note. So this is Helena note number 8, and the coordinates are 23.4 by 53.2. I'll leave this out for you guys so you can take note of it. Now, as I was saying, from here we're going to follow that bridge that I showed you before. So we're on this side now. We're going to follow the bridge to the left, and basically go down this bridge, and right in front of us we can see another shelf, and then like a little cliff. Right at the end of it there's another note, again a Helena note. if my Wyvern wants to land in the right place. That would actually be helpful. So here we are. I'm going to try and position myself on top of it. So this is Helena note number 30. This is where we are, and the coordinates are 23.8 by 48.8. So after this, we want to go to the top of these structures. You can see it right in front of me, actually, on top of the cliff, or whatever these shelves or whatever these structures are called. I don't know. So that's where that waterfall was that I was on about, the lake. Right above it, there is a giant ruin. It's like a staircase. I'll show you it. So this is the second to last ruin that we have in this video. So this is actually quite a massive structure. You can see it from the bottom, you can see it from the air, but right next to it we will have a note, and I'll show you its location as well. So you want to kind of come around this way, and the note is actually quite nicely tucked away here. This one is a Rockwell record. This is Rockwell record number 11, and the coordinates are 28.2 by 49.7. Now from here, we're just going to follow this edge around, and we're going to pay attention to our right. We want to see a water well location. That's when we know we are in the right place. So basically just follow this edge all the way around. I can see the water well location to my right. We're going to land here. So again, if I turn to the right, we can see a giant rock, and right underneath it, at the base of the rock, we have our next note. This one again does not have a ruin, but we do have the rock to kind of give us a point of reference. This one is a Rockwell record. And of course, this is the last note for the video. This is Rockwell record number 19, and the coordinates are 32.2 by 48.8. With that said, that is it for this video, folks. Join me in the next episodes where we will continue with the Explore note, and by the end of this mini-series, we will have covered all of the Explore notes and their locations here on Scorched Earth. Until then, stay safe, folks.